just spent so long getting everything set up, and then I actually sat down and I went, man, what am I gonna say? Hello everyone, my name's Angelina Scriptor, and it's been a little while since I have really just sat down and actually talked to you guys about where I've been, what I've been doing, what's going on, and where's the book? If you've been following my channel for a little while now, you would have heard a lot about Tease of Fate, my dystopian romance novel that was supposed to be coming in November, because Tease of Fate should be out. I haven't given a proper writer's update in a really long time, but that's just because I've been working really hard. I've done many different drafts of Tease of Fate. If you don't know, that's my dystopian romance novel coming out November 2023. If you're seeing this, it's December, something's gone wrong, kinda. So today I just want to talk a little bit more about what Tease of Fate actually is, where it is, when it's coming, and just get you guys more up to speed about what the heck is going on in the writer's life. Tease of Fate began from a dream. I had been on writer's block for 3 years, and Roses and Thorns 100 Poems for Life was just published in the hopes of trying to get myself out of that writer's block. What really happened is I went on vacation, and on that vacation I had a dream. Immediately, I wanted to write it down and draw a picture, trying to hold on to that vision I had because it just felt so vivid. I wrote 90 pages before I went back home. The book was completed in a month. And now it's been a year, which I can't even believe that that's something I'm saying, that it's been a year, because that means it's been a year since I've been on YouTube. It's been a year since I've had my face out there. It's been a year since I've been an author. It's been a year since Roses and Thorns came out. And here I am, supposedly with this new book that I wrote in a month, published in a year, and it's not out there. So what happened? Long story short, it takes a long time to write a book. That's it. But in reality, I finished editing this months ago, supposedly. I posted getting my first draft. I showed everyone this copy of the book with the drawing that I did and a beta reader copy on the back, and huge news. And that's true. This was huge news. But it also started the tedious, long process of editing properly. Really getting to go through, cross things out, physically see the mistakes, and this is my first real book. I've obviously written many books in the past, that's what I've done my entire life, but never professionally. Never to the extent that Tease of Fate has been written. So I wrote this, and then I wrote this, and then I wrote this, and then I wrote this. And on the surface, you might not be thinking that that's a huge deal, but the differences between these versions are incredibly significant, and I spent about a month with just each copy. I mentioned what was going on with this one, huge edits, just a lot of sitting outside with a red pen. Then this one came, it was the draft copy, the first official draft that no one else would read, after the beta reader's copy, just fixing all those little mistakes that I found. This was also when I decided to reformat the book, making it a little shorter, only to find out that I couldn't do that with the platforms that I'm using to publish. So then I reformatted it again, and I finally had some version of the back cover on here to preview. And then I actually started trying to get cover drafts done, which is how this happened, and more on that coming very soon. This is the copy that was the most formatted, the most recent, and the most complete. After all of these months and time that I spent editing, this is done. This is the last draft of Tease of Fate. So why didn't the book come out in November? The quickest version? The cover's not done. Originally, my plan was to work with Fiverr artists again, but this time I just really wasn't getting what I wanted with them. I wanted something, frankly, that just looked a lot more professional and complete, and no one was working in the art style that I wanted to use on this book. That is when I found the company that I ended up using, and we've been working together since September, the last 4 months. We've been just emailing back and forth, relentlessly trying to put together some version of a cover. Recording in progress. I don't care. Hey! So for the past 4 months, this company and I have been sending emails back and forth, trying to put together a cover that we think would look great. And yeah, it took a while, but I think the cover that is almost complete looks absolutely stunning. There's so many little details on it that I can't wait for you guys to catch. And like I said, it's almost done. So what else have I been doing? I can't just have been doing that. No, as you probably already know, Roses and Thorns 100 Poems for Life now has an audiobook available on Audible. The link for that will be in the description if you're interested. And yeah, I spent a couple months working on that as well. Of course, I also have a lot going on in my real world, balancing my social life with my work life, which I am proud to say I've been doing really well at, especially compared to the last few years of my life. But back to the point, Trees of Fate. This novel that I have been mysteriously and suddenly working on for the past year of my life. What is it? What is going on? Imagine a world that is completely covered in water. The only three things that survived are gigantic, fantastical trees. The survivors of the collapse have gathered together, burrowing into the roots of the tree, trying to create air pockets for themselves, trying to survive. In the meantime, the royals have risen. They take full control over all three trees, leaving everyone else to fend for themselves, except Alaric. Prince Alaric, the youngest of the great royal family, has left the great cherry tree and started a rebellion against his family, employing the help of Malaya Adley, an 18-year-old girl who was left alone in the decaying roots of the lavender crystalline, a girl whose family disappeared 10 years ago, to have her join the rebellion. Together, they escape, start training, and prepare for the adventure of their lives. And of course, maybe start developing some feelings along the way. I am so proud of this idea coming to me randomly from a dream. I saw these characters, Malaya and Alaric, in my head last year on vacation, and now there's 352 pages of them. So yes, Trees of Fate is a dystopian romance novel following the first-person narrative of Malaya Adley, who is recruited by Prince Alaric, youngest member of the royal family, to take down said royal family. Originally, my ambitious plans were to have this book out last summer. That obviously didn't happen when I realized how long editing actually takes in the full scope of a novel rather than just a small little poetry book. And realistically, my goals were set for mid-November, the joke being that I wanted the book to come out on the same day that Roses and Thorns came out a year before. When I realized the cover was taking longer than I anticipated and I ran into some other editing problems, that was when I decided to make the room tour video, also explaining that realistically the book might be delayed until December. And now it is December, and a third of my audiobook is recorded, the interior is done, and the cover's actually almost done. Just today I got my first copy with the typography. I cannot wait to show all of you. This whole cover endeavor story is going to be in a separate video, probably my next full-length video, where I explain the whole story of what happened on Fiverr, all the different drafts, which mysterious company I am working with, and I finally share with you the full back of the book, and finally, the cover. I've teased it before along with some of the characters in a short that I did. I'll play a little bit of it on the screen while I'm talking, but overall, this has been a crazy long journey and it's finally almost ready to come to a close. I have just a few more setbacks that I need to get through, some in regards to the cover being late, but mainly in regards to publishing. I have a whole publishing story that I could get into. If you want more of an explanation on this, then feel free to let me know. But the basis of the story is I'm publishing with multiple different companies at the same time. There's all the bibble babble of how that works and the ISBN numbers having to be different and all this stuff. But the premise is some are ready and some are not. I won't be so secretive about it. Barnes & Noble just put me on a 15 business day queue just to look at my paperwork, which I thought I had submitted last year and I realized was pending because my tax information never fully went through. I had to resubmit it. In the midst of the holiday season, you can only assume how that's going. So Barnes & Noble is going to be coming a little bit later, but the printed hardcover, ebook, and matte paperback are going to be available on Amazon very soon, along with a company called Draft to Digital, where they're going to be distributing me into libraries and distributing me all over the place with the paperback, so you could find that hopefully almost anywhere. I know I said that with Roses and Thorns, and then it just didn't end up being in certain places, and that was because of a little fine print that I just never recognized with Amazon's publishing. But this time, I'm using a distributor, Draft to digital. They're going to get my book all over the place, paperback and ebook. Amazon's going to take care of the paperback, ebook, and printed hardcover, like Roses and Thorns has. I'll show you a preview. Printed hardcover is this glossy, just hard shell without it being a dust jacket. And excitedly enough, I am going to be having a dust jacket, but that is coming later with Barnes & Noble. Probably in early January is my assumption, with the release of my ebook, paperback, and exclusive Just Jacket in Barnes & Noble, and hopefully with the release of a local book signing. So stay tuned if you want to find out more about when that's happening. But as of right now, the official release date for the first copies of Trees of Fate that are going to be available is before Christmas. I know, it's so vague and I can't give you a specific date, but it should be out in the next couple of weeks. Definitely before Christmas. I want you guys to be able to give it to each other as gifts. I want it to be under someone's tree. And honestly, I cannot wait to hear everyone talking about it. I can't wait to hear if anyone likes it. This is seriously a dream come true for me. The next videos you're going to be seeing from me are the cover reveal, and then ordering the copies physically to me, and then possibly another publication vlog. If I'm not screaming, I'm gonna be crying, and if I'm not crying, I'm gonna be dancing. I can't explain this feeling that I get when I look at my cover and just think, this is real, this is my life, I am an author. These characters did not exist before me, and there wasn't even an image of them a year ago. There wasn't an image of them a few months ago, other than the ones I drew. So, the conclusion of this random little update is Trees of Fate is coming really soon. I'm so proud of the story. Please feel free to ask me any questions in the comments, and I can't wait for you guys to read it. I can't wait for you to fall in love with some of the characters. I can't wait for you to scream at me when someone might die. And I just can't wait for this chapter of my life to start where I'm a published novelist and I've fulfilled the dreams of my childhood, and I just go on to keep making it happen. So thank you to all of you who've joined me. I have around 115 YouTube subscribers now, which is really, really cool to have a small community of my own. I've always wanted that. And I also want to say thank you because I have over 100 YouTube subscribers, and that's kind of awesome. So as I've said in many, many YouTube shorts, stay tuned for Trees of Fate. It'll be out very soon. And until then, I'll see y'all in the future. Scriptor out.